Good day people, I'm John Apex. Today I talk about how to draw the human face. I'm going to try to keep this in between that simple and not too complex sweet spot because that's how I'd like it if I were trying to understand drawing the human face. There's no one way to draw the human face. Different artists have different approaches, but what I'll be using here is just my own method or approach to drawing the human face. When we're talking about drawing, the head and the face are quite different, and you have to understand the head before you can move forward to the face, which is about 2/3 of the head. Like with a lot of my videos, I like to remind you that when you're drawing, try to visualize what you're drawing as a simple 3D object, because this will enable you correct yourself when you're drawing. It will make you question yourself about the way your drawing looks and also aid you in making adjustments when it seems like things are looking off to you. So, the three things we start with are a spherical shape or circle, a cross, and then this weird box shape. The sphere shape represents the cranium and the box shape represents the jaw. Usually I prefer drawing these shapes out first before adding the facial features so that I can get an accurate measurement. Getting these basic shapes down and how to draw them on various positions will really help you out if you struggle with portraits or drawing the human head. So, about the cranium, if we look at it from other angles and anatomically, we see that it's not exactly a sphere or a circle. It's a bit longer and much flatter at the sides. That's where our instinctive ninja skills come into play, and we chop out the sides and add a cross, which is where our ears will go eventually. But we're not doing that now. We're just getting the basic shapes, laying down a foundation. I use guidelines whenever I draw the face, whether or not I'm drawing stylistically. The purpose of these guidelines I'll be adding is to help me and, you understand where certain facial features will be placed on the head, how they would look in perspective, and the distance between them. That first initial cross we started with represents the brown line. Now, there's a distance that exists between the hairline and the brown line and the nose line, and between the nose line and the jaw. Each section occupies 1/3 of the face, and it marks where the placement of each facial feature starts or ends. Of course, this does not apply to every human's face in the universe, but this method is quite common and it works. It doesn't have to be the rule of thumb for every face that you draw though. The next thing would be the eye line and the mouth line. The mouth line is going to be around the center of the nose line and jaw line. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten about the ears. The next guideline will be for the length of the eyes. The space I leave in between both eyes is usually the same length as a single eye. So when in doubt, just check if the space is equal to a single eye. If you are drawing realistically, when drawing the front view, the space between the eye corner and the ear is also about an eye long. Usually it doesn't have to be the same length when you're making a stylized drawing. It could be half an eye, 2/3 of an eye. I'll let you be the judge of that based on the style of art you're going for. When drawing the eye, the simple method I use is that I draw two parallel lines. Sometimes they could be curved depending on the position of the head. But basically, I draw a sort of parallelogram and smoothing the edges. Adjust my tear duct, then the iris. I usually draw the full iris so that I can properly find the center for the pupil. I also like to add that bottom eyelid. I don't follow this method all the time. Sometimes I do it realistically and sometimes I don't. It's just a guideline, so just do whatever you want. Next guideline will be for the length of the nose. Once I have that, I create a cone shape for the nose, just to make things easier for me in case it's a difficult angle. 3D shapes, remember? I usually draw men's nose more rigid than that of a woman, which I draw much softer and smaller. For the mouth, I take the nose measurements and make it a bit wider, and I have something I'm satisfied with. The ear is usually located at the middle third where the eye starts and the nose ends. At least that's where I usually place it when I'm drawing the head in a neutral position. When the character's head is up or down, however, foreshortening comes into play and the position of the ear changes. And that's it. When placing the neck, be aware that women have more slender necks while men have broader necks, and you don't want to overdo it, so that it doesn't look weird. But do you, fam? Do you? a lot of the time when I'm done with the guidelines and a sketch and I usually want to start painting or inking, I notice sometimes that there are some inconsistencies with the construction. Don't be afraid to use your lasso tool to just adjust those disjointed areas and make your drawing look how you want it to look. It's your creation. Don't be afraid to bend it to your will. I'm not going to talk about my coloring or painting process because that's not what this video is about. I'm actually doing a series where I discuss the art fundamentals for character artists and how to approach studying them. We are currently on the first fundamental, which is anatomy. So we'll cross the color bridge when we get there. So just stick around for that, I guess. For now, just practice and digest this, and I hope it helps. Please click on the notification icon, like and subscribe. You can check out my other videos that could, help sandpaper your art skills. And until next time, guys, I'm John Apex, and peace. See you soon.